toxic concerns. The Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District confirms plans to clean up cancer-causing chemicals at 2 local campuses when the work is set to begin.
Looking back, looking forward, and looking to celebrate. How the city of Malibu is putting the final touches on its 25th anniversary reception. News at 5 starts now.
News, weather, and sports. Live from Malibu, this is Newswave 32.
Good evening, I'm Shayla Girardin.
And I'm Jackson Overstreet, and you're watching the Thursday night edition of Newswaves. We begin tonight with breaking news. Traffic is flowing in Malibu Canyon again after the roadway was shut down in both directions for nearly an hour and a half because of an accident today. We know very little at this time about the crash. It happened just before 3 o'clock, 2 miles into the canyon, and involved at least one gray sedan. At least one person was airlifted from Alumni Park here at Pepperdine. The canyon reopened about 45 minutes ago. Now, following claims that is comparable to Flint, Michigan's water contamination crisis, there is word this evening that Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District is taking action on the toxic chemicals in Malibu schools.
The district says modernization plans set for this summer at both Malibu High and Juan Cabrillo Elementary will address parents' growing concerns. Here's the latest on the controversy.
One of Malibu's most toxic lawsuits fighting to protect children's health inside the classroom is quickly becoming its most expensive.
According to the Santa Monica Mirror, SMMUSD has spent $8 million to date on testing and legal fees.
The suit filed by parent activist group America Unites for Kids has one request: that all window caulking at risk of PCBs be removed from Malibu schools.
The only way to protect children and teachers from PCBs, from the exposure, is by going in and identifying it and removing it.
PCBs are a toxic material present in buildings constructed between 1950 and 1979 and were discovered in Malibu High classrooms in 2013. Following the Malibu High discovery, the district carried out remediation, but low levels of PCBs still remain in some window caulking.
We are aware that PCBs are in caulking materials. They are in caulking materials throughout the state and the country.
The district maintains that the current PCB levels in Malibu schools are not a problem as long as levels remain below the EPA's guidelines.
Now, some parents and teachers are concerned that the current PCB levels present in these window caulkings could pose a health risk to students.
Dr. David Carpenter is among those who believe current PCB levels still pose a threat.
Again, inhalation of PCBs in the Malibu schools causes cancer.
AU is not seeking any monetary compensation, but is making their request clear.
Pull out the windows, pull out the PCBs that are surrounding it, and put in brand new windows, and that would solve this problem.
The case will go to trial on May 17th.
In a statement today, the district said they are continuing to communicate with the EPA and follow its guidelines.
As of 30 minutes ago, 2 LA campuses reclaimed full activity after a bomb scare this afternoon. Walnut Hills High School and Mount San Antonio College, which are about a mile apart from each other, both received threats today. Walnut Hills received a threat at 10:24 this morning, and Mount San Antonio received a threat around 2:45 this afternoon. But as of this afternoon, both campuses are deemed safe and activity is back to normal.
In France, authorities have just arrested a French national suspected of planning another terror attack. It's believed the suspect was in the advanced stages and planning to strike within France. Word of this comes as investigators in Europe say they are aware of multiple additional ISIS plots that are in various stages of planning. In the meantime, the manhunt for 2 suspects linked to the Brussels terror attacks continues. Authorities now believe that 5 men were part of Tuesday's bombings. 3 are confirmed dead, but the fates of the 2 remaining suspects remain unknown. Any lead to the suspects' whereabouts could be crucial in combating further attacks in Europe.
As we've said before, this is the cancer that is ISIL is a growing threat that is currently looking at Europe. They seem to be focused on Europe, France, Belgium.
Now, Lynch said there is no specific threat against the United States at this time.
Democrat candidate for President Hillary Clinton was at USC today, taking part in a roundtable discussion about national security.
We cannot give in to panic and fear.
Clinton, along with LA Mayor Eric Garcetti, spoke candidly about the state of the nation's security. Clinton emphasized that everyday citizens need to play a part in combating terrorism, as well as not resorting to pitting groups against each other out of fear. Now, in the meantime, recent poll numbers put out by the Public Policy Institute of California show Californians are favoring the two presidential frontrunners, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Clinton is 7 points ahead of the Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders here in the Golden State, while Trump has a commanding 19-point lead over Ted Cruz, who is in second. Clinton is in Los Angeles today rallying support and donations for her campaign with fundraisers in Santa Monica and Hollywood.
With no descriptions, 4 suspects who robbed a Malibu watch and jewelry boutique are still at large. Sheriff's investigators confirmed today that the 4 masked men who sprayed mace in the Westheimer jewelry store on Tuesday and made off with expensive watches are still unidentified. The total of the items taken has not yet been assessed.
The messy parking lot situation at Point Dume Plaza may become a thing of the past. A plan is out for a parking deck that would be located in the corner of the main lot by the Pavilion's grocery store. The deck would add 47 spots to the plaza, boosting the total number to 227. Malibu residents say more spots are definitely needed.
That's a park on the street. Yeah, I wouldn't want it to ruin the backdrop or take away from. It's really beautiful here already, so I wouldn't want it to take away from that. But assuming they can get it done in a nice way with a good architect, why not?
The lot is part of renovations to the pavilions that were completed in 2008. The plan is still pending City Hall approval.
And a second hotel could be on the rise in Calabasas. The Calabasas Planning Commission voted 3-2 in favor of building a 120-room hotel. Before construction can commence on the Canyon Oaks projects, the new home company behind it must obtain a zoning permit for it and a proposed new community of homes. This is the second time in the past 2 months the commission has approved the construction of a new Calabasas hotel. The panel previously approved the 4-story Rondo Hotel in February.
Get your party hat ready. The city of Malibu is looking back and forward as it puts final touches on the 25th anniversary celebration. Newswaves 32 reporter John Michael was at City Hall today and joins us with more. John?
Thank you. On March 28th, we will be wishing the Boo a very happy birthday. This Monday will be the 25th anniversary of the city of Malibu. After the scheduled council meeting at City Hall at 6 p.m., there will be a celebration marking this important milestone in the city's history. The celebration will feature a live band, free food, a commemorative video about the history of Malibu, a surfboard art exhibit, and a silent art auction. The event is free and open for all ages, and there is no RSVP needed to attend.
Celebrating the great art show, which I'm really excited about, and that's really for the whole community to come together. It's to showcase our Cultural Arts Commission and our first ever art show here.
Once again, the event is free and it should be fun for the entire family. It seems that Malibu is not or has not changed a whole bunch. Back to you, Shayla and Jackson.
Thank you, John Michael. Crayons are coloring a new light on the community. How one local resident is using the classic art tools to give back to schools.
And the comedian industry is mourning the loss of one of their greats. More on today's unexpected death of Gary Shandling.
Plus, Starbucks is looking to sweeten up your spring. The new drink that is looking to keep up with hot and cold weather.
We have a full weekend of sun here in Malibu, but that may be taking a turn next week. Your full forecast is coming up next.
She was kind and eager to help anyone. A big fundraiser tonight in honor of Emily Shane. How her foundation is reaching out to young Malibuites.
Settling differences. As the clock is ticking, a critical meeting is about to get underway as the two sides negotiate a split of the Malibu and Santa Monica school districts. News at 5 starts now.
News, weather, and sports. Live from Malibu, this is Newswave 32.
I'm Jackson Overstreet, and you're watching the Thursday night edition of Newswaves. We'll get to those top stories in a minute, but first,
a high wind watch is in effect with the strongest gusts expected tonight. Emily is here early with what you can expect. Emily, are we really facing gale force gusts?
That's right, Shayla. A high wind warning remains in effect from tonight to tomorrow afternoon. The Los Angeles area is expecting to get strong and potential damaging winds through Friday. These winds will get up to 25 to 35 miles per hour with sudden damaging gusts up to 75 miles per hour. These strong winds are expected to target the Santa Clarita Valley and Santa Monica Mountains recreational area. The strong winds in these locations will potentially bring down trees and power lines. The winds can make driving very difficult, especially for drivers of high-profile vehicles and vehicles towing trailers. Visibility may be reduced from the blowing dust and sand. Major roadways that could be affected include highways 2, 5, 14, and 39. The National Weather Service encourages securing loose outdoor furniture in preparation of the onset of strong winds. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Emily. There are wings over Malibu tonight as the Emily Shane Foundation holds its annual event. Newswave's 32 reporter Alexander Fisher joins us live from Casa Escobar, where the fundraiser is about to start. Alex.
Yeah, just under 2 hours, the annual Emily Shane Wings Over Malibu fundraiser is going to take place here at Casa Escobar. Take a look behind me. You can see the final preparations are underway. It's a pretty packed event tonight that will feature cocktails and a dinner, a silent auction, live music, and I gotta tell you, that's just the beginning. It's a full event tonight. Now, the proceeds for tonight's event go to the Successful Education Program, which provides struggling and or failing middle school students throughout the LA and Ventura counties a mentor or tutor that will support them. Now, I just checked, and you can still purchase tickets. General admission is $150, and for millennials, it's discounted to $50. So there's definitely some tickets available. You can purchase those at emilyshane.org. In the meantime, like I said, final preparations are going on underway right now, and the event starts at 7 here at Casa Escobar. Back to you guys at the desk.
As the Malibu and Santa Monica school districts continue down the path towards parting ways, there are significant financial concerns. Newswave's 32 reporter Alexis Padilla is here with us to tell us about the negotiating meeting that is taking place at City Hall tonight. Alexis?
So that's right. The clock is ticking for a negotiation meeting to reach an agreement on the possible split of the Santa Monica Malibu School District, and both sides are preparing for their meeting tonight. They have been discussing for weeks now to reach an agreement regarding the payment methods for consultants and lawyers. The two sides need to agree on which data they should be used to determining the implications of the split. We tried reaching out to the Malibu City Attorney, but they declined to comment on the topics that would be discussed at tonight's meeting. The meeting is open to the public and will begin at 7 p.m. at Malibu City Hall. So if you have any concerns on the matter, make sure to attend and voice your opinion. Back to you, Jackson.
Thanks, Alexis.
Well, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders face off in Brooklyn tonight in CNN's Democratic debate. Meanwhile, on the Republican front, Trump's campaign manager catches a break, and our political commentator Thomas Reinhardt joins us this evening. Thomas, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's the last Newswaves. I can't believe it.
Last Newswaves. It's a good time to be here. It's going to be a good show. Well, we're really glad to have you with us this evening, but we want to know, what can we expect in tonight's debate?
It's going to be a bloodbath, I think. I mean, Bernie's really gaining a lot on Hillary. He's shrunk the gap about 5 points in the last few days, and he's got a lot of momentum. So I think it's going to be a really, really interesting race. But of course, Hillary Clinton's adopted home state, New York, so she's still up about 10 points. The primary is on Tuesday, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Thomas, what's your reaction to the news that Donald Trump's his campaign manager Corey Lewandowski got off charges today?
Yeah, the prosecutor declined not to press charges. It's kind of an interesting deal. I think it's obviously sort of an ambiguous situation. The prosecutor is an elected Democrat, so but he also has some ties to Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. So kind of an interesting deal. She can Michelle Fields, who is the alleged victim, she can still choose to proceed in civil court for defamation. So that might be an option for her. But beyond that, I mean, the story kind of goes nowhere at this point, I think.
There's a lot going on both sides. It'll be
Definitely.
interesting to see
Yeah.
how this plays out for both the Republicans and then, tonight with the Democratic debate.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a big turning point for both of them.
It really is. We're starting to get into that season where, we're starting to get closer to the conventions, so the delegate count really starts to become important. Brokered convention is a real possibility, I think, definitely on the Republican side, and I think we might be inching closer toward maybe the possibility of that on the Democratic side, too. So, bizarre political year, but it's always fun.
And what, Thomas, do you think we should really watch for tonight?
Tonight, I think Bernie is really going to go hard after Hillary, but Hillary is going to be able to do the same thing. They're both skilled politicians. Bernie's kind of facing some flack right now for saying that Hillary Clinton wouldn't be qualified to be president, and then flip-flopped and said, well, maybe she would be. So I think she'll kind of hit him hard on that. So all kinds of stuff, but it'll definitely the knives will be out.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Thomas, so much. It's going to be a big night.
It will be.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch.
Definitely. Thanks.
Thanks, Thomas. Well, a statewide Amber Alert is now canceled, and the 2-year-old involved is safe. 2-year-old Jacob Vargas was left alone inside a running car this morning when the vehicle was stolen from the driveway of his grandmother's home in Soledad. A 911 caller reported spotting the vehicle near a barn on River Road just south of Salinas. Vargas was found unharmed in the abandoned vehicle shortly after 2 this afternoon. An ambulance was called to the scene and Vargas was returned with his mother. No suspects have been arrested at this time.
New real estate reports show it's getting more and more difficult to buy a piece of paradise here in Malibu. The average sale price of condominiums in Malibu rose 5% last year. The average price of a condo is nearly double than the average price of a single-family home in Los Angeles, with Malibu condos being valued at around $1 million. Despite the boost in prices, there was an increase in condo sales in Malibu over the past year.
Many children in Malibu started school under her guidance. Malibu Presbyterian's preschool director is retiring after 25 years of service.
I've actually been 35 years at Malibu Press, which is great. I came when my little boys went off to kindergarten and 2nd grade, and now they're adults with children of their own.
Current director Cindy Ludwig, or Ms. Cindy as her students call her, says the position will most likely be passed along to someone within the church. Ludwig will still play an active role in the church and plans to take a part-time position. A church-wide celebration for the school's 50th anniversary and Ludwig's retirement will be held Sunday, April 24th from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. A 6.2 earthquake felt by thousands in Japan.
Reports of damages are still coming in and many people are shaken up as threats of aftershocks remain.
And sunscreen scare. We wear it to protect our skin, but a new report shows a key ingredient in sunscreen may be causing harm in surprising ways.
College bound, the process of getting into your school of choice is becoming more and more difficult. What you do and don't need to be doing to increase your chances.
Once the winds die down, it's looking like a nice weekend for the beach, but surfers may be a little disappointed. Your full forecast is coming up next.